So hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 58 of our Aston Martin save. Now, if you didn't watch the last episode on Tuesday, go back and watch that because that was a strategic masterclass from myself, I must say. We went to the Red Bull Ring in Austria and we performed admirably. A 1-2 for Aston Martin. Fernando Alonso first, Pierre Gasly second. Did get some bad luck by having to double stack when the rain came and it was time for intermediates. But Pierre Gasly securing the P2, 1-2 for Aston Martin. We're loving this. What did that all mean for the standings? Well, it meant that we went up to P2 in the Constructors, level on points with Ferrari, but we've won 4 races, they've won none. Red Bull are still around 40 points in front of us, something like that, what, 37 points. Quick maths in front of us, so Red Bull could be caught. Drivers standings wise, Max Verstappen only lost 2 points to Pierre Gasly, who furthered the distance between himself and Carlos Sainz, but Fernando Alonso getting up to P6 in the driver's standings was a real positive as well. Pierre Gasly 3 wins this season, Max Verstappen 7. It's going to be difficult to catch him, but we possibly could. But today we head to the French Grand Prix. The circuit Paul Ricard, 53 laps round here. Sebastian Vettel holds the lap record. Car attributes are medium and high speed cornering. We've had some new suspension on for this Grand Prix, so that's going to benefit us in that department. The expected strategy is a one-stop from medium onto hard. There's not a great risk of a safety car around here because there's a lot of run-off area. It's a circuit that some people don't like. I particularly do like it. So I'm going to get all the practice done and I will see you in qualifying for the French Grand Prix.
It's Grand Prix time here in Le Castellet. The very first horseless carriage race was organised in France in 1894. Since then, well, the carriages have only gotten faster. For the Grand Prix here, Paul Ricard boasts a fine collection of low, medium and high-speed corners. The scene curve is taken at breakneck speed, right before heavy braking at Beauceup. This is an all-rounder test for cars and drivers alike. The season is about halfway through, and it makes me wonder what else is in store for the teams. Well, there's only one way to find out. The weekend begins here.
So you join us, final lap in Q3. You will notice on the left-hand side, Fernando Alonso is on provisional pole position at this moment in time. Max Verstappen as well has got an engine penalty this weekend, so he's going to drop down the grid a little bit. Fernando Alonso has got supreme pace at this moment in time. Sainz doesn't improve, so Fernando Alonso is going to get pole position, we believe. He crosses the line, but Pierre Gasly may be able to take it off him. Alonso, does he improve? Not by too much. Pierre Gasly, can he overtake his teammate and get pole position at his own Grand Prix? He can't. So it's Fernando Alonso on pole, Carlos Sainz second, Leclerc third, Pierre Gasly fourth. Verstappen will have an engine penalty, so he won't be starting P5. Vettel and Ricciardo also taking engine penalties this weekend. Let's have a look at the strategies. Right then, so the plan is this. Fernando Alonso, we are going to split the strategies. He's going to be on the medium to start, then go on to the hard compounder tyre. Pierre Gasly starting on the hard, he will then go on to the medium. So we're going to split it. 86% confidence on the setup. It's not too bad at all. Hopefully Fernando can break that DRS of Carlos Sainz and then run away into the distance. That's the plan. 5 red lights coming right up.
And here we go with the French Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
And away we go, and there was a little bit of a hold there straight away. We're going to get Fernando on deploy and Pierre Gasly. We're going to ride on board from his point of view here because he's going to be having a look at these two Ferraris in front. If we have a look at the top, we've got the top 3 all on the medium compounder tyre, then all of the rest of us on the hard compound apart from Joe Hamilton and Lance Stroll in the Alpha Tauri. But early doors, Fernando Alonso doing his absolute utmost to try and keep hold of P1, but he has got Carlos Sainz attacking him all the way down this first couple of straights. And down this long straight now, is Fernando Alonso going to be able to do it? He certainly is. I don't think he's going to be able to break the DRS. We're going to keep an eye on that, but lap 1, it's basically as you were. Alonso from Sainz, Leclerc in third, Gasly P4, Norris, Russell, Magnussen, Perez and Bottas. If Pierre Gasly can hold on to the back of these medium compound runners, he will be in a much better position towards the end of this Grand Prix. So that's a key battle, but the key battle is, can Fernando Alonso break the DRS of Carlos Sainz by the end of lap 2. And on lap 2, we've got a car running wide, Alexander Albon. Let's just have a quick look at this. It's not tragic, is it? Let's be fair. Albon having a very good start for Williams in real life last weekend. But Fernando Alonso has managed to break the DRS of Carlos Sainz. He's still using that battery to pull away into the distance. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly is going to be told to use a bit of his battery just to keep up with the Ferraris in front of him. If we can latch onto the back of these with Pierre, it'll be absolutely crucial for our race, especially when these two start battling in the next couple of laps. So Fernando Alonso leads 1.2 seconds to Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. Pierre Gasly is giving it absolutely everything to try and keep up with Charles Leclerc and stay in the DRS. Lap 2. Lap 4, and I would like to argue that we're getting very, very good at being a team principal. Fernando Alonso, 2.6 seconds to Carlos Sainz, got himself a nice gap now, but crucially, Pierre Gasly, he's just latching onto these Ferraris, and he's going to be on the quicker compounded tyre at the end of this race, but he seems to have the pace to keep up with these Ferraris on the softer compound, and seems to just not be able to catch Fernando Alonso. So we're in a nice little niche here. The Ferraris fighting, can't catch Fernando. Gasly latching onto these and dropping Lando Norris at a decent rate as well. If we have a look at the last lap, it's a 1:37.3, played 1:37.7 for Lando Norris in the McLaren. Lando Norris really coming into his own though in the last few races. We know how talented a driver he is in real life. I still love that Marlboro McLaren livery. But it's great to see Lando doing so well. He might be a contender if we do look to change it up next season. Lando Norris, I think he'd be a driver that would be keen on possibly getting in. But Gasly latching onto these, and Fernando Alonso, it's only going one way at this moment in time, up to nearly 3 seconds to Carlos Sainz in P2. Lap 6. Absolutely crucial moment in this Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc didn't have a very good time in real life here last year. He's not had a very good time of it there. He's ran wide, and that has allowed Pierre Gasly through. And Pierre Gasly is now into P2 on the hard compounded tyre. This could be absolutely brilliant for us, because if Pierre is going to keep exchanging places with Carlos Sainz, we know this, but by the time we get to the end of this Grand Prix, Pierre Gasly is going to be on the faster compounded tyre. Gap to Alonso is 3 seconds. We're expecting pit stops around lap 22 for the medium compound runners. It's a 25-second pit lane loss here at the Circuit Pole Ricard. At the moment, Alonso would come out dead last, but by the time we get to that lap, it'll be interesting to see whereabouts he's filtering out in all of this. But Gasly and Alonso, I can't believe I'm saying this for the second time this week. Currently, it's an Aston Martin 1-2, lap 14. Lap 16, Carlos Sainz, he's got the DRS, fair enough, he's overtaking Pierre Gasly. The crossover period for the tyres will be around now as well, so something to keep in mind. That Ferrari livery, that chrome metallic Ferrari does look fantastic by the way, doesn't it? But crucially, in terms of the driver's standings, don't worry lads, don't worry, look at him, he's depressed, he's upset. There is no need to be upset. There is no need to be upset, because Pierre Gasly will get him on this next lap. But crucially, as I was about to say, Max Verstappen currently running P12, and once he gets past Esteban Ocon, which he's not managing to do, he's got 8.5 seconds to Lewis Hamilton in the first points paying position. So Lewis Hamilton in the Audi, looking very decent for a point here this afternoon. Very, very interesting. This could be big gains for Pierre Gasly on Max Verstappen this afternoon as we now go on board with Pierre Gasly. Is he going to make a move on Carlos Sainz? Gap to Alonso, 4 seconds. This battling between Sainz and Gasly is not helping either of their racers, but it's helping Pierre's a little more. We've got a yellow in sector 2, we've got a driver locked up. Fortunately, it's not Fernando Alonso. I'm keeping an eye on who that could possibly be. It looks like Verstappen's. It's Lando Norris. We've just been bigging Lando Norris up, haven't we? Let's have a look at what Lando did here. He's fighting with Charles Leclerc, just goes in a bit heavy. He's come to a stop. If he were Lewis Hamilton, he'd have just drove straight across that chicane, but he decided not to. So Lando Norris, that's really stuffed him. He's now down in P10 behind the aforementioned Lewis Hamilton. So it's Gasly at P3, Sainz P2, and Alonso in P1. Kevin Magnussen, by the way, just keep an eye on that Haas. Caused us a bit of an issue with the Red Bull ring in the last episode, but doing very well in P6 for the Haas. Gunter will be happy. Lap 17. Another crucial moment, and it's Max Verstappen. Oh dear, Max. Oh dear. He's come to a stop there. He's going to lose a hell of a lot of positions. That is not ideal for Max Verstappen at all. Pit window very shortly. We're currently just weighing up where we can get Alonso in some clean air. It's 25, 26 seconds. We're going to be between the two Williams. We don't want to get caught in this little gaggle of cars that we're going to see here. We've got Zhou and Tsunoda to get past if we were to pit, probably next lap. I'm going to keep an eye on the lap time, see what we can do, but if Fernando can sort of push it out this next lap, we may be able to jump these. We're going to keep an eye on this. Lap 21, pit window imminent. Lap 22, Alonso is in this lap, but Charles Leclerc's just coming to the pits. He's going on to, I'm assuming, the hard compounded tyre, is it? Yep, he's going on to the hards. We're looking, there's a gap here, 25 seconds. This is the gap we're looking at between Tsunoda and Albon. If we can come out in front of Yuki Tsunoda, that's why Alonso, at this moment in time, he's been told to push on this lap. The idea is, get out in front of Tsunoda. We've then got around 3 seconds to Albon and Ricciardo before we hit any traffic. That's the plan. Let's see if it comes off. Right, couple of things to know. Alonso's coming into the pits, but we're going to show you this replay first and foremost, where Pierre Gasly is going to take the lead of the Grand Prix off his teammate as Fernando has now boxed. Great move from Pierre Gasly, job done. Right, key moment in this Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso is in, as is Carlos Sainz. This is Pierre Gasly's now, time to shine here if he can really make these hard tyres work. Let's have a look at where Fernando comes out. Remember, we're looking around here. If we keep an eye on Yuki Tsunoda, which we're going to do, he's coming around the final few corners. Where is Fernando Alonso? He's coming out of the pit lane. He's got a lovely gap still to Carlos Sainz. It was 2.5 seconds. It wasn't the end of the world at all for Fernando Alonso. He might do better than Yuki Tsunoda, in fairness. What's he got in front of him here? Fernando Alonso comes out, and he is out in front of Tsunoda. And he's got Albon and Danny Rick for company. He's got to make light work of these. But Fernando Alonso, if we can use the ERS up this next straight, we may be able to get past both of these. Lap 23. It must be said, ladies and gentlemen, it's took Fernando Alonso a long time to negotiate, even past the first one of these cars. Carlos Sainz has finally managed to get past the Williams. But now the key is for Fernando Alonso on this next start finish straight to get past this car he's got in front of him, which I believe, it's a very important overtake. They're right to celebrate, but it's not job done yet. He's got Danny Ricciardo in front of him. Pierre Gasly's loving life at the front, by the way. If we have a look at the last laps, 1:37.0 plays 1:36.4. He is losing time, Fernando Alonso here, and he can't really afford to be doing this. If we have a little look now at Fernando Alonso, his next POV, this is where he needs to get past. Is it Danny Ricciardo? He needs to get past Danny Ricciardo on this next straight. We're going to ride on board with him. He doesn't get the best acceleration out of that corner, but he is going to get DRS here. Is he going to manage to get past Danny Rick? He certainly is. That's it. Fernando Alonso up to P8. All the cars in front of him have got to pit. If we have a look at the leader, it's going to be 6 seconds to his teammate Pierre Gasly at this moment in time, but the cars in front 8-10 seconds. It's not looking too bad at all for Fernando Alonso at this time. Might be time actually to just harvest a little bit of ERS when we get clear of Danny Ricciardo. So lap 26, Alonso not in the worst position, but could have got past them a little quicker. Pierre Gasly 3.7 seconds to George Russell. Looking cushy. Lap 26. Fernando Alonso, new fastest lap, and to be fair, he's starting to make light work of these cars. He's sorted Esteban Ocon out there, no problem at all. If we have a little look back to the live racing, he's currently now sat in P7. He's got 9 seconds to Perez, but he is pumping in some lap times here on these hard compounded tyres. A 1:35.2, a full second quicker than his teammate Pierre Gasly. Remember, Pierre Gasly is going on to the mediums very, very shortly. Gap to leader, 15 seconds now. It's up to 10 seconds to Pierre Gasly. He's gaining on these cars in front. Fernando Alonso is going to do very well not to win this race today, but Pierre Gasly looks like he might have something to say about it. We're now monitoring the gap for Pierre to see where he can come out on the medium compounded tyre. I would suggest it's going to be somewhere around here. But lap 30, it's Gasly from Lando Norris again. He's had that spin, but he's still very much in it. George Russell in P3, Magnussen P4, Bottas 5th, Perez 6th, that's the hard compound runners. Then we've got Alonso P7, already had his pit stop. Ocon on the hard signs, and then Danny Ricciardo in P10. McLaren on for double points this afternoon. Lap 32, optimal pit lap. Pierre Gasly is in for the medium compounded tyre now. We're looking at the left-hand side. I reckon he's going to come out. He's going to come out behind Alexander Albon and in front of Lewis Hamilton. Now, has Alexander Albon pit yet? He hasn't. So he's going to move out of his way. He's then going to chase Leclerc down. Russell and Norris have followed suit and coming on the same lap. Fernando Alonso now takes lead of the Grand Prix, and that is the actual position he should be in. Carlos Sainz 2.7 seconds. Currently on the fastest lap, but at this moment in time, if we just have a little look at the tyres, 81%. But Pierre Gasly has come out in front of Alexander Albon, and he's now got, let's have a look at this, he's got 2.6 seconds to Charles Leclerc, who's on worn hard tyres. Pierre Gasly on the fresh mediums. Do not write off Pierre Gasly for a race win this afternoon, and with Max Verstappen languishing down in P17, this could be a significant day in both the Constructors and the Drivers' Championship. Pierre Gasly, my friend, to use Bono's phrase, it is hammer time. Lap 33. And lap 35, Danny Ricciardo got out of the way. He pitted, new fastest lap. Pierre Gasly, 1 minute 34.2. He's 1.3 seconds from Charles Leclerc. Then it's Ocon, then it's Sainz, then it's Alonso. He got Esteban Ocon, and then he's now got Charles Leclerc. Pierre Gasly is on a monumental charge. I'm going to have to learn how to say something posh in French by the end of this episode. But Pierre Gasly gets past Charles Leclerc. Merci beaucoup. That's probably as good as you're going to get. He's round him. They're enjoying it in Pierre's side of the garage. Absolutely loving it. Fantastic work. There's applause there. Now, current state of play. Fernando Alonso, P1, 3 seconds to Carlos Sainz, sorry. Pierre Gasly now on the medium compounded tyre. Leclerc, he's got far better tyres than Charles Leclerc here. If he can get this gap out, break DRS, he can then attack Carlos Sainz. That's the plan. The last lap for Pierre Gasly, let's have a little look, 1:34.6. It's 3/10 of a second, and he's got how much to make up? 6 seconds. He's got to do a little bit better than that, but P2 is on for Pierre if he can pull this out of the bag, because those tyres, especially Leclerc, are not going to last. They're going to drop off. Carlos Sainz as well, but Fernando Alonso has just got to keep doing what he's doing. New fastest lap of the Grand Prix for Pierre Gasly. Lap 41, Leclerc got past him, but then we said, right, let's charge DRS, we'll get him on this straight, and then we will break DRS, and we certainly have done that. If we go back to the live action now, 1.1 seconds, Gasly 1:33.4, fastest lap of the Grand Prix at this moment in time. Leclerc's hanging on in this Ferrari. We don't seem to have the pace to quite catch Carlos Sainz, but we've still got 12 laps. We need what? Let's have a look. 12 laps, and we are 5 seconds. So yeah, we need about half a second a lap at this moment in time to be in fighting distance. Fernando Alonso just got to bring it home. We'll have a rundown of the top 10 now. Everybody's pit stops are completed. We've got Alonso in third, Sainz second, Gasly third, Leclerc fourth, Bottas in P5 in the Mercedes. We've got Norris in P6, great race for him. Russell P7, Magnussen P8, he's fighting with Hamilton who's in P9, Perez P10, Max Verstappen P15. Currently not going to be scoring any points this afternoon. It's all about what Pierre Gasly can do now to catch Carlos Sainz. Lap 51, as you will notice, we're currently telling Pierre to harvest and conserve fuel. That was because we didn't want him ahead before this next DRS straight, which he's now got DRS. That rear wing is wide open on the Aston Martin Vantage car. Is he going to make a move on Carlos Sainz? It doesn't look like he is. He's harvesting DRS. I reckon with him possibly a couple, well, we've got 2 more racing laps after this. Fernando Alonso looks like he's got it in the bag. It's job done for Fernando. All Pierre Gasly's got to do, we're going to harvest this DRS for a couple more laps, and probably on the final lap, that is when we are going to go for it. Stick with us, folks. This could be a grandstand finish. So here we go, final lap of the Grand Prix, and Pierre Gasly, we said it in the Canada episode, he looks like he's gone a little bit too early there. We're hoping to have DRS on this next straight. I can't tell Pierre to wait for DRS. Let's have a look who's going to get it at the detection point. I think it's now going to be Carlos Sainz. Let's see. It is going to be Carlos Sainz. Right, this is it, people. Deploy. It all comes down to this. We're going to ride on board with Pierre Gasly, who's going to deploy ERS all the way up this straight. He's got the DRS as well. Come on, Pierre, get past that Ferrari, make it another Aston Martin 1-2, and it looks like Pierre Gasly, he's past Carlos Sainz. Alonso's in front, he's leading the Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz is sticking at it here. He's using all the ERS that we've saved up over this last couple of laps, Pierre Gasly, and it looks like he's got the job done. We don't need to see a replay, we've seen it live. Pierre Gasly is going to gain huge points on Red Bull, and so are we. We're going to gain huge points in the Constructors' title today, but Pierre Gasly is going to gain around 18 points on Max Verstappen. It's a big weekend in both drivers and constructors. But Pierre Gasly at his home Grand Prix is going to come through for P2, but it's been all about this man all afternoon. Fernando Alonso comes across the line. It's 2 from 2 for Fernando, wins the French Grand Prix. What a race from him. And Pierre Gasly, what a race from him as well. It's a 1-2 for Aston Martin. Let's have another look at this. My word, we love this podium music, don't we, as well? Fantastic work. I mean, how we've managed to come back there and we've managed it. We've split the strategy and we've ended up with a 1-2. We see Fernando celebrating. I think we're going to be seeing a bit of Fernando celebrating in real life as well this season. But what a performance from Fernando. Let's fast forward now to the finish and get a look at this podium, and we'll listen to David Croft and Carew.
What a flawless weekend here from Fernando Alonso. His team must be proud. This podium is a true recognition of everyone who's been working so hard for this result. And the talented veteran rounds off another great drive, adding to his impressive F1 podium tally.
Fantastic scenes there on the podium. Wonderful work from us. It's another 1-2 for Aston Martin. We've had 2 races this week and 2 1-2s. What more do you come and watch this series for? So we'll have the full top 10 rundown. It's Alonso from Gasly, Carlos Sainz. He'll be gutted to lose it in the way he did. 7 tenths in the end. Pierre Gasly managed to pull out over him. Charles Leclerc P4, Lando Norris P5, Bottas 6th, Russell 7th. Fantastic work from Kevin Magnussen again in P8 for the Haas. Perez in P9, and it's Lewis Hamilton down in P10 scoring the final point. Danny Ricciardo as well had a good race, gained 5 positions, it must be said. But where is Max Verstappen, by the way? P13. Oh dear, Max. Driver's title, driver's standings. We've got Max Verstappen 237. We gained 19 points as a result of also getting the fastest lap as well. So we are now, what, 45 behind? It's doable. It's doable. Fernando Alonso, he's up to P5, winning 2 races this week. Absolutely loving it. Overtakes George Russell in the Mercedes. It's Red Bull from Aston Martin from Ferrari. You've got to say that the Red Bull, would you suggest Max Verstappen's outperforming it at this moment in time? Perez down in P8 at this moment. Something to consider. Constructors standings wise, we go top of the constructors standings for the first time. Absolutely loving it. Let me know down in the comments, who do you think is going to win the drivers standings, and who do you think is going to win the constructors championship as well? Would you bet against us? We're in red hot form. Remember to like and subscribe. And on that note, I'd just like to say we've just hit over 100 subscribers. Thank you so much for the support and watching. It's an absolute pleasure to bring you this series. And we'll see you next week on the next one. Have a fantastic weekend.